glasses, people with glasses, and of course, all of those in between. Welcome to the laid back live stream where I'm sitting in my spare bedroom and I'm going to talk about some paintball stuff and probably some non-paintball stuff when I run out of topics. If people don't prompt us for to keep going with stuff. Now, before this goes any further, first thing I want to do is I just want to make sure that chat is actually working. Which, will it? Is it? Is it? Isn't it? Is it? I'm kind of a little bit worried. Yes, chat is active now. It is actually alive and kicking. I was a little bit worried about that there. When I logged in, turn on chat. Chat is on. You should just have to restart. Yeah, there. You should just have to click refresh, and it should come on. If it doesn't, let us know. I realise that some people, if anyone's watching this, people might understand how I was able to respond to somebody there without being able to, without having a chat. It was a private message. Right. So hopefully, if you just refresh the stream, you should get chat. It should pop up. For some reason, even though I thought the whole idea was like giving people warning that you were going to be doing a live stream beforehand. I thought the whole warning of it, the whole idea of it was that there we go, Ben champion. I thought the whole point of it was so that people could have a bit of conversation beforehand. Hello, Albert. I forgot to change that. I wonder if I can just manage moderators. No, sure. Right, yes, I forgot to change that setting, which means that if anybody swears in my chat and it's, well, YouTube will just automatically put them into a holding thing. So anyway, I thought the whole point of this was that like telling people in advance, just like you can have a bit of conversation in the chat beforehand. No, for some reason it wasn't working. It seems that you're away to bed already? Yes. It even holds symbols, apparently. But yes, so the whole point being that you could have a conversation in the chat before the live stream actually started. And then, for some reason, I don't get chat. So, that's fantastic. Now, I was wondering, because I put the HDR50 in the photo, like in the thumbnail for this live stream, I was wondering if an algorithm had picked that up and was thinking, ooh, dodgy live stream, better not give him any chat or anything, but Itchy Balls. Itchy Balls doesn't get hidden. Itchy Balls stays up. But hello, Ripper. Yes, I am indeed. Legit being told to take a break. Ah, right. Well, catch you later then. So, thank you very much for being here at the beginning, but I understand. Right, so hello, Albert. Hello. So Ginger, I am indeed Ginger. Unfortunately, it was a birth defect. Right. So I think the first thing that I want to touch on today is I want to throw, if anyone's looking for somewhere to play this weekend, I understand, obviously the people that are in the live stream at the minute, I quite regularly talk to, but if anybody else joins later on, just so you know, if anyone watches this at a later date before this weekend, I'm going to give a couple of shout outs. We have a walk on at Driverwood Paintball this Sunday. That's near Gatwick. There is pricing and stuff on there. It is £25 for bring your own paint or £50 with a box of GI Custom. I think that's reasonably fair enough. I'm not going to go into all the details of it, but we do have that. This, of course, nothing I say here is a paid promotion. It is this just all me taking this off my own back. Right. Ben, I'll check that PM in just a second. So, right, we also did open a page here somewhere else. Right, District 23 Paintball down in Billingham. There is a Markford Paintball Christmas Bash on the 1st. I think that's Saturday. So that's something to look forward to. Saturday from 9 AM until 19:30. So 7:30 at night. Fantastic little site. I always recommend District 23. It's absolutely charming. It's a great place to go and play. And also, if I can just find it so I get what I was told correct, Right, at Mayhem, there is Market Fed Sunday on the 2nd. So, again, I've never played Mayhem personally, but I've been told that it is a fantastic site and really worth having a go at. So, I don't know any pricing on that, but if you drop over onto Facebook, have a look on UK Paintball, you'll probably be able to find out some information from there. Right, just have a quick check of something here. Ah, right, that's what you meant. It YouTube thinks that you've been spamming my comment section. Oh, right, right, yeah. I get you now. I get you now. Yeah. Right then. So, considering everyone that's in my chat at the moment, I know I've got Ripper, I know I've got Albert, and I know I've got Ben. Now, the fourth person I'm assuming is myself. By the way, guys, if you just want to share this video out as I'm doing it, any pages that I haven't hit already, that'd be much appreciated. Too skin wish I was born this weekend. Me too, mate. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm at work, I would love to be out playing somewhere. I mean, District 23 would be ideal for me. It's just down the road. Jesus Christ, when I look at my computer, you can see how far back my hair is receding. I'm thinking about going like full on, full on Heisenberg and just shaving the whole lot off, going full cue ball. Because that is ridiculous. That like, I'm starting to look a bit like Trump, you know. I need like a toupee on or something. It's no better if I brush it that way either. God, oh man, it's just, oh, it's embarrassing. Anyway, I'm getting totally distracted. So, because I know that you are all paintballers, I found one that I thought you might appreciate. Need to put your markers on the wall. Mate, if I do that, my missus will strangle me. I would love to put a couple of things. Yeah, I might be able to get away with like a couple of like panel pins or something just for to hang things on. But I think if I do more than that, she'll go ballistic. I'm like a Geordie Mike Phillips. Thank you. If I shave my head, then I'd be even further down that route. Then I'm not even gonna go into the rumors because I just don't want to start that shit. Right. But if you're wanting markers, like that's there we go. That's the best I can do at the minute, and I'm kind of worried I'm gonna knock that off. Can I squeeze that in? Yeah, there we go. Marker. Right. Need some sort of paintball related backdrop. Well, I do have. I'm just trying. I've got that. Thank you. I know I need to sort some paintball related backdrop out, but it's trying to like compromise. I would love to have some area where I could do this properly, and set up a camera permanently and be able to sit and have a proper chat and have like guns behind us and be able to like have a proper workstation where I could work on things on video. But I just think should kill us. And the fact that I even put my desk in here, oh, shoot the wall. Yeah, that's something that could end up happening. I could just see me like working on a marker and shooting the wall and getting chewed out. Right. So as I was saying, I found one that I think you will appreciate. I'm in a couple of airsoft groups. Now I know that's a big no-no as a paintballer to even be anywhere near airsoft. But some of their gear is interesting, and watching some of their videos is interesting. The fact that, because for all I'm not a milsim player, I do find milsim interesting. It's fun to watch, and if I had the time and I was able to go and play all the time and play when I wanted, I probably would actually build like a full dedicated milsim rig for to play milsim games. But I don't have the time. I don't have the patience. And some of those, sorry Ben, sorry, but some of those guys are just absolutely mental. For some reason, like there we go. Hey, yes, I've now got messages appearing on my screen here and messages appearing on my screen here. There we go. I was wondering why they weren't popping up. So yes, some of that stuff is interesting. but it's always interesting when they share a paintball post. And some of you might have seen a video I made a while back that was paintball truths for airsofters. And I thought I'd get in them all. I really thought I'd like covered the big issues that airsoft has with paintball. No. I mean, it's been a running joke for a long time of airsofters don't like getting dirty. But Jesus. So I'm in this airsoft group on Facebook, and God, that just hello viewers, hello new viewers. That's so touchy. I mean, there was wait, 14th of June, YouTube channel called and Facebook channel called Silo Entertainment. I think he hangs around with a guy called Novrich. I'm not too sure on that, but either way, Silo makes airsoft videos, right? And he's on the 14th of June, he uploaded a video talking about paintball BBs. I've known for years paintball BBs don't work, and I don't even play airsoft. But they have gone and they've done a video where they're talking about people cheating in airsoft, and the idea of using BBs to take people out and leave a mark on them, almost as if they're playing paintball. You know, it's not as if this is something that has been like in debate between paintball and airsoft for years. But somebody shared that post into this paintball page or this airsoft page that I'm on, and God, the comments are salty. I mean, all right, yes, I understand they're playing airsoft because they don't want to play paintball, but really, I mean, you've got like the first comment is, "You can get lost with them. I don't want my kit and guns covered in paint. If I did, I'd play paintball, not airsoft." All right, yes, I kind of get that, but how is it any different to getting mud on your gear? Unless you don't play in the mud, which I know some paintballers and some airsofters don't do. But then it starts getting some people are actually making valid points, and some people are just, it's like pure reactionary sort of stuff. I mean, you've got people that have pointed out the fact that some people use mesh eye protection. Yeah, fair enough, I cannot argue with that. But then you've got stuff like, not just Gamesoft, I played at a site where the marshal told us gunshot don't count, as the regulars don't like cleaning their guns, so we shot the shit out of the gun. Yeah, oh, I get that. It's like, I understand. I mean, it's very, very common within rental paintball that gunshots and mask shots, or gunshots and headshots, don't count. And I firmly believe that in most cases that is because that is the place with rental paintball where you are most likely to get a burst. Right? You know, if you hit the gun, it's a solid target. If you hit somebody's head, solid target. And they'll be straight out of the game, because most rental customers, they'll just prop that gun up on top of a bunker and they sit there firing away. Sites, especially the big one, which I worked at for a short period of time, but especially that big, you know, corporate site in the UK, they're there to make money. All they care about is getting people in the door, getting them to shoot as much paint as they can, and then getting them back out again. That's all they care about. There is no customer service in there. But I mean, I do understand some people don't like getting or having to clean their guns. But the fact of the matter is, when you're playing paintball, you know you are going to get paint on you, and I don't think most of the time when something just sticks out from you in a bunker and you take a shot at it, you don't care if it's a foot, you don't care if it's a head, you don't care if it's a gun. The idea that regular players don't have to clean their guns is just, I've every faith that there is players like that, but those kind of people are ridiculous. But anyway, getting back to this. Another guy, awful idea. Considering some people are rocking around in fairly expensive and hard to replace gear, it's a one-way trip to getting decked. Threatening physical violence because of the idea of getting shot by a 6mm paintball. A paintball BB. Physical violence! It's mate, they're not chucking tins of hammerite at you. Hey, come on! it's like there's other people on here which are trying to point out, like it's washable paintball. The only time we had non-washable paintballs was like back in the early days of paintball when there was like I've heard rumors of turpentine parties. People used to actually like go in with like bottles of turps and petrol and things like that to clean the oily paint off themselves. But that was over 30 years ago. It was before I was even born. Oh man, fast way to ruin a good gun. Now that one, that with the rubber knives. Hey, if they want to use rubber knives, feel free. I mean, as long as everyone on the site, everyone that's playing on the day, knows that rubber knives are going to be in use, I don't care. I do think using a rubber knife is a fast track to getting put on your ass, because it just takes one squaddy with PTSD to see somebody running at him with a knife and to go full fucking ape shit. Giving it a bit like the fucking kung fu fighting that you get taught in the army. I've just realised. But yeah, it just takes one squaddy that goes fucking ape shit when he catches somebody diving in with a knife. Actual knives with rubber coating. I might be okay with like police batons with foam around them. So you can slide the foam off. I mean, I'm not against melee weapons altogether in paintball. I mean, I played District 23 2 weeks ago now, and I used to foam sword while running around with my pistol on the Sunday. But it's very visibly a foam sword, and I've talked about this before. But you can see that it is a foam sword. It's not going to hurt anybody. It's oversized, and it is blatantly novelty. Foam cricket bats, Shaun of the Dead it up. Damn right. Yeah? If you can get a foam cricket bat, and you can get us with it, providing it's not like solid foam. But if you can get me with a foam cricket bat, yeah, no bar. So a big problem with rubber knife and paintball. Hey, it's fair enough, mate. Like I said, I think they've got a time and a place. I think if everyone on the site is informed that rubber knives are going to be used, that's one thing. But when people just start pulling them out and trying to actually slitting people's throats and stuff with them, I think that's when you're going too far. I'm kind of the opinion they should be treated the same as like a barrel tag. You should be able to like eliminate with somebody with them, but like when you start like stabbing people and slitting throats and things like that, I think you're going too far. But I did hear rumors years ago about a guy that used to run around with it was like it was some kind of sword, but it had like a lipstick edge on it, so that if you slashed somebody with it or cut their throat, it would actually leave a mark. Now I'll admit I think that's pretty cool, but I also think it is it's a bit ridiculous once you start putting your hands on people. Right. Again, more people complain about the idea. I stopped members of BZ from using them. Hey, that's fair enough. Like I said, I've said it before, but in my opinion, site rules are what counts. It's like, I bought the HDR50, and I think Ben mentioned something there a second ago. What was that? Also the 350 FPS 50 cal debate. Well, yeah, this is it. The HDR50 shoots at around about 350 feet per second. Now, most people, when they hear 300 feet per second, are going to freak out, because it's been long established that in the UK, the legal limit is 300 feet per second. As I understand it, it's actually slightly above that, but not by much. But that is for 6.8 caliber. Me and Ben, because I'm thick as fuck, Ben did the maths on it the other night, and the UK limit for 50 cal, because in the UK we base things off foot poundage and joules. The UK legal limit for 50 cal is actually way higher than 300 feet per second, and I don't want to go into the exact details of what that is, because to be perfectly honest, I think the idea of shooting 50 cal at that ridiculously high velocity, it's a bit meh. I'd have to be shot with it to see what I think, but I don't know. I'm not too sure on it. But anyway, so the HDR50, yes, it shoots around about 350 feet per second. And I've said with that, it is up to the site owner's discretion or the event organizer's discretion as to whether or not they allow me on field with that. Now, if I rock up to a site and they go, no, 300 feet per second across the board on everything, be it JT 50 cal Splatmaster, all the way up to, you know, Tawny guns and Milsim guns and all this sort of stuff. If they say no, you are not using it, then I'm not using it. I won't even take it out of the box. Unless if they want to have a look at it and they want to take it out, that's fair enough. What I'll actually do, I'm gonna share a link in the chat section because I didn't make this video public. They've changed loads of stuff with like the YouTube producers setup page or bollocks, whatever you call it, and everything takes ages now and it's really confusing. But I'm going to share a video that I'd never planned on sharing it publicly. It was just something I tried at the weekend to see what it was like being shot by the 50 cal. Because I can honestly say that I'm fairly confident. Get shareable link. I'm fairly confident I have never been shot by 50 cal in the time that I've been playing paintball. I might have been hit with one at the weekend, like at District 23 the other weekend. To effectively have the same impact as a 68 cal at 300 feet per second needs to be closer to 500. Well, yeah, I just didn't really want to say that. But there's no getting away from the fact that when I hear 500 feet per second in paintball, I think, oh, that's not good. But I also understand that because it's a smaller ball, that's where the difference comes into it. But I also understand for event organisers, it's easier for it to just go, right, we're only having one velocity across the board, be it 50 cal, be it the 0.48 or something like that for the PPQs and some of the old Kingman stuff. And that stuff sounds like a bit an airsoft. Sounds like an airsoft gun. I mean, they've got this kind of cute, quite cute little sort of pew pew sort of noise. The 43, yeah, that's it. The 43 cal. I think I was shot with that at District 23, and that I barely felt. It just felt nothing. But the 50 cal. Right, I'm going to drop the link in the chat. There we go. Now hopefully that's the right one, and I haven't just like posted a video of myself pleasuring myself or something. Right. So yeah, shoot myself with the HDR50. Basically, this was towards the end of the day. When I went out on that game, I'd actually loaded up a brand new fresh CO2. I didn't fire that many shots, so it was a pretty fresh CO2. And I wanted to see what it felt like to be shot. So I just turned my gun on myself, shot myself in the arm. And it stung a bit, I'm not going to lie. But if it looks like you want to play Russian roulette with it. It is very tempting to. I'm not over keen on the idea of shooting myself point blank in the head. But I think the idea of playing Russian roulette with somebody else, like, we'll spin the chamber, point it, take a shot at each other. Because when I can actually get it out right here. When that, you can't see really if that's got a ball in there or not. If you've only got one ball in there, you can't see. It's not like a normal revolver where you'd possibly be able to see the bullets sticking out the sides. It's pretty much screened off, so you do not have any idea of if there is a ball going to come out there or not. I know not all revolvers are like that. It's only some, but obviously, kind of, if it was, if the were all like that, 50 cal doesn't taste as nice as 68. I haven't been shot in the mouth with it yet, but I find out, and I don't fancy like eating some of the paint I've got in that pod, but I think it would be quite fun for like do take like a few paces from each other, spin the chamber, take a shot at the other player and then hand the revolver over and play Russian roulette that way. I think that'd be quite good fun. But as I was saying, I mean, I don't know if you'll be able to even see it there now. I think that's the mark that I've got left. In fact, I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's the mark that's left off of a 50 cal from like that sort of distance. It stung for a few seconds. If I'd done that with a 50 or with a 68, I've got no doubt I would still have a massive bruise around my arm there. But I wanted to see, and yeah, I was pretty happy with that. If that's what I was shooting people with, I'm happy with that. And as I was saying though, if a game organizer found 50 cal, so my pump is sorted. Oh yes, we'll have to have a game then, Ben, at some point. You'll have to come down to District 23 and play with your Splatmaster pump. Because you've got to remember, I mean, down District 23, bounces count. So it doesn't matter if it hasn't got much power or not. But I'll read a couple more of these comments out, and we can have a little bit of a laugh at them. There, another one threatening physical violence. Ruining my kit of guns. We're in the woods. You might go missing. Vulcan. District 23. You'd have to buy your own. You'd have to buy fresh paint. You can only shoot the clear stuff that they have there. You wouldn't be able to take coloured paint. But that's something I'm gonna have to see. Like next time I go to a big game, if they allow us to use my HDR 50, I'm gonna have to see if I can find some 50 cal paint, so that I can run around gunslinging it up. So I kind of north versus south. If I go to that, it's a bit big for to be running around with me sword and pistol. I mean, I might take the pistol on the field and like tuck it down the back of my pod pack or something, because room clearance with a pistol is so much easier than trying to do it with a full-on pump or something. But I might have to see how it goes. Might get a game in or something. Right. Another one. Oh God. Death of the game. Anyone caught me with one of them gets magdumped. I don't play paintball for that reason. Oh, what else? Have we got? Yes, your little blue JT 50 cal pump. Is it JT that made them? Yeah. Right. I think the problem is that with paintball, you go with the full expectation of getting hit with paint. No shit. Airsoft, you don't. Well, no shit. However, if you were told that somebody was going to be using them in the morning, you wouldn't really have much of an argument. Vulcan pump. Right. People will get their arse when it goes all over their kit and clothes, and safety kit may not offer protection anymore. Right. The only thing that's safety-wise that could come from using paintball BBs in airsoft would be if you're wearing mesh goggles. Just don't wear mesh goggles, and you wouldn't have an argument. What else? It's just amazing the amount of people that seem to think that that paintball, like in paintball, we're firing fucking Dulux, or that we're firing tins of hammerite at people. You're not getting that paint all over my gear. Mud is fine, it washes out, but that shit is a pain in the ass to get out. For fuck's sake, it's not hammerite. Oh man, and it. Yeah, I don't care what you think. If you get paint on me, we'll be having painful words. Also, what are you going to do? Claim your hit from 200 feet. Call the game to a stop, walk over, give me a once over to be like, oh well, I thought I got you. No, the idea is that you can see them fucking burst on your opponent. This isn't hard to understand. Like, my first experience with paintball when I was like fucking 6-year-old, and I understood the concept of it then. I don't understand how grown blokes don't get this. And it's so simple. It's like, you shoot this paint-filled gelatin ball at somebody over there. It bursts on them, and you go, "I got you, you twat." And no, you don't. You don't stop the game and go, "Oh well, I thought I got you." You just go, "Ref, pull the fucking cheating get out, get him off the field." It's as simple as that. This isn't complicated. Oh man. I don't know if Chan's in here or not, but mate, that the Seagulls Stop It Now T-shirt that you shared with me was brilliant. I do kind of want one. Oh man, that's like almost an anthem for when we go away and play paintball. Right, I'll close that down now. Alright, so, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can cover. Ooh, Dexter's currently doing his live stream. Thank you very much, Ripper. Thank you very much for the shout out. I might just for some fun here until I sort this out a bit more. I'm sorry that I've got to read from that I've actually got to read from my laptop to talk to my phone. Plan to step to Magfed. I think we talked about this in the first session. What's your take on bouncers counting? I'll get that one first, since we've already covered the Magfed the Eclipse Magfed gun before. But bouncers counting. Ultimately, we play paintball. The objective is to shoot your opponent and leave a paint mark on them. That's why we play paintball instead of airsoft predominantly. However, under certain circumstances, like if it's CQB, things like the Call of Duty games, or even just the guerrilla games, like from Shoreline years ago, where they were doing them in buildings and stuff, or close quarters environments, District 23 or the OMG events. I'm not sure what the situation will be for the Black Sheep events, but for like the MagFed events, I'm perfectly fine with the idea of bouncers counting. I think perfectly fine with it is a little bit strong. I'm okay with it. I'd rather it was a burst situation, but I understand quite often for Magfed events, that they're trying to use thicker shell paint so that it goes through these older guns a bit better. I'll get that one in a second, Ben. And cartel game at Scotch Corner. I've got no idea why that one would be bouncers count, mate. Especially at Scotch Corner, which is a dedicated paintball site. I don't understand why that would be bouncers count unless they've been trying to target specifically Magfed players, because I know that a lot of Magfed players do play bouncers count. Partly, I would imagine that's partly because of the limited paint that they're carrying, and the idea that, if you get, that you might not be able to get 2 shots on a person to make sure they're out. But as I've said before with stuff like that, and I've got such an itchy nose. You weren't there, but it was. Oh man, got such an itchy nose. What was I saying? Yeah, like I've said before, it's the idea of like what Bear Grylls says: improvise, adapt, and overcome. If you're having problems with if you shoot somebody and it does bounce, and then they move back behind cover, you move with them. Pick a winner. It was a pain. I think it ruined the game. I can imagine on a proper paintball site it would. I mean, after all, as I said, we are playing paintball. We're not playing airsoft. And if every game turns into basically bouncers count, then we're just playing airsoft with bigger balls. We might as well be playing reball. But if you're playing, as I said, like a specifically Magfed event, or you're playing like a CQB event, then I'm more accepting of bouncers counting. But part of the whole thing with paintball for me, and years ago when I was having arguments with people about the whole paintball versus airsoft debate, part of it was, oh well, what happens when the paintball bounces off you? And so, well, not every shot in a, not every time a soldier shot is a guaranteed kill. So it's kind of like if you want to go down the milsim route of things, it's like a bounce to me is like a ricochet or a wounding shot. It's not going to kill you. You can still carry on, but you know you've been you've been winged. It's like right, okay, I'm not out, but I know that I need to do something, otherwise I'm going to be. That was always my take on bounces. Right, I'll have to go back over to this for see some of the comments. I think they did it just to make it easy on the marshals. I don't know. Was the cartel gamer, was that marshalled by Golden Postal? Because I mean, the Golden Postal marshals are pretty good. But it could have been. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of bouncers count. Yes, it does mean that like every time you hit somebody, be it a bounce or not, then they're gonna be out. But I just think there's not much point in playing paintball if you're going to play bouncers count. The other thing with Shoreline years ago, part of the reason why they brought in the bouncers counted and all Golden Postal games bouncers count. You see, I don't think that should be the case. I think it should be on a game by game basis as to if it's on a normal paintball site or if it's CQB. Because part of the other thing with say like Sennybridge, when Shoreline ran the games there, they played bouncers count because the other thing was you're shooting clear paint. So because you're shooting clear paint, you couldn't guarantee that it was, it wasn't going to leave a mark, even if you hit somebody, unless you, like, say, I think there was one of the games where people were wearing grey t-shirts. When somebody had a fresh grey t-shirt on, you shot them, you saw that mark, or you saw that paint, even though it was a clear ball, you saw it leave a mark. But if it was raining or if people got really lit up, then you couldn't see if you were hitting them any further. So in that case, yes, in that instance, I understand bouncers counting a lot more. Right, what else we've got? Watch as it burn. Was a pain, pick a winner. You weren't there, but it was Cartel. Right, we'll go back to Ben's posting earlier on. Planet Eclipse has stepped towards Magfed. I mentioned the S word. Oh, Shoreline, yes, I know. Hello, Gaffs. How are you doing? Yes, I mentioned that that company's name. It's like, I reckon that it's a bit like Beetlejuice. You say Beetlejuice 3 times, and all of a sudden, he pops up. So we'll try not to say that word anymore today. Yeah, clear paint. Nah, I think it's fair enough. Bouncers counting because you don't always know if you can't see if the paint's actually burst on the person. So I think in those cases that there's definitely a reason that you could say bouncers count. Right. So again, touching on the Eclipse Mag Fed. He's in your garden. Well, you've got your 50 cal pump there, haven't you? Right. Right. I'm going to have to go on and change this setting on my live stream setups because having to confirm when people swear and stuff in my chat. I want people to be able to swear. I do think that there is probably boundaries that will work out as time goes on, the more live streams that I do. But I'm fine with people swearing for the most part. I don't care. It's not like YouTube can demonetize my channel again. Right, need a full metal ginge. I know I need to come around and do some gardening for you, mate. We'll have to get some stuff done. Time to swap to Twitch Live PB shows. Well, I do actually have a Twitch account, and I don't know if I can stream from my phone onto that. But I used to stream on Twitch, like years ago. I used to do gaming live streams and stuff. But I think you should ban. Yeah, maybe I should. Want a meme? I always want memes, mate. However, I made a great one earlier on, which you've probably seen because I shared it in the bullshit asylum. At least I think it was a great one. You know that the Ronan Keaton meme. It's probably been done before knowing my luck, but it was a moment of inspiration when I was listening to the radio at work. I use First Strike all the time because I'm a Magvet player. What do you think as a speedball player? First off, I haven't been a speedball player for a long time now, unfortunately. I do love speedball, but I'm older, fatter, and I don't have as much money as I used to have. Personally, though, I think if everyone had first strikes, it would be a different. It would certainly be a different game. But especially for limited rules. I mean, giving everyone in paintball first strikes would be at the minute would be a little bit along the lines of like giving every soldier in combat a sniper rifle or a gun that was capable of firing full auto, like a full auto Barrett 50 cal or something. I think everyone having first strikes would be a little bit overkill. But then again, if everyone had, he has the body of a speedballer. I have the body of a speedball. Round. Although with the way my diet's going, this body may be something that people can look at and not vomit in future. But right, so yeah, as just a normal paintballer, I'm fine with the odd person having 50 cal and the odd person having first strike rounds. Or for that matter, if everybody on the field was shooting first strike, dem titties, I know. But if everybody on the field was shooting first strikes, I think it'd be very interesting because it would be a totally different game. For a long time, me and some of the guys from Nest, we have done what we sort of branded the tactical seagull. Where you stand in the open and you taunt your enemy into trying to longball you, and sometimes you can be just on that sort of get yourself on C2 5k. I've lost nearly stone in 3 weeks. I'm doing all right with my diet. I'm doing a little bit more exercise than I was, and I'm just controlling the amount of food that I'm eating. And I've gone from being about 16. I was about 17 stone 6 down to, I think when I got the skills this morning I was 16 stone 11. So I'm happy with the slow progress. I don't want to lose weight too fast because I don't want to end up with like, loose skin and I also don't want I want it to be like a life change as opposed to just like boom, weight gone and then start piling it back on again. But I mean, if that's working for you, mate, I applaud that. If it's helping you, do what you want to be and be what you want to be and do what you want to do, then fair enough. 3 quid shooting at you, cheeky buggers, dancing, I think, out of range. Whistles past and hiding back behind your cover. Well, this is it. Then this is the thing I was going to get to with first rate rounds. With round ball, we used to stand in the open, and you can still get away with it to an extent. But stand in the open and give yourself a bit of a wave and have a bit dance around, and people would rain paint at you. And what I used to do was people would rain paint at you and they'll hit the ground in front of you. And when you see roughly where it's hitting the ground in front of you, you take a step forward and you see how close you can get and how many steps you can get before you eventually get hit. But that's the thing with round ball, they've rained that much paint at you. They've maybe rained like a hopper and a half or 2 hoppers or something at you, trying to get you, and that might be 20 people on a field, depending on the size of the game. You can have waves of paint coming in, but as long as you keep moving, the paintball on average is going to take around about 3 seconds to reach you. You can actually, depending on the distance somebody is from you, see them fire and step out of the way. I mean, this is it. I used to be quite good at that, when I was reffing paintball, no, like when I was reffing rental games, you could see people shoot and just step out of the way of that paint. Because you learn roughly the trajectories of the stuff. You know roughly how long you've got before to do stuff. So yeah, you just step out of the way of it and you're good. But as I said on the live stream on Soho, that Soho 52 did the other day, Rich Weidenbaugh, on his live stream, that was all well and good, especially 10 year ago when I think it's like 11 year ago almost when I started playing. You could do that, and even I think it was like the early teens when first strikes really started to pick up. It might have been like the late tens. Uh, so doing that then, you could just get away with it for ages. But then when first strikes started coming in like the late noughties, the early teens, and it's been a slow progression, but first strike is slowly becoming more and more popular. And the idea, like, you're standing there in the open dancing away, and like I said, you can still get away with it quite a lot. But you're standing dancing away, and all of a sudden, some whistles past your head, and it's, oh shit, I've got a sniper trying to get us. And I think if the price of first strike starts to drop, which it doesn't seem to be just yet. I mean, I think I looked it up the other day, and it was something like, I think it was 100 first strike for around about £40. So, I mean, that's still quite expensive. The Hidden Hedgehog, well, he is quite good at taking people out from long range. He does have that. But yeah, so just I've been totally thrown off there. But yeah, now when you're standing there, and oh yeah, so the idea of the first strike, if it drops in price, and I think more people will definitely start picking it up. I just think at the minute it's not cost effective for what it is. I mean, it is good because obviously you can sit there and you can pick people off in the open, and you can be quite effective as a first strike dedicated player. You can pick those people off like me that stand out in the open and try and taunt people. And you are being effective for your team because while instead of everyone else wasting all that paint, a first-rate player can take me out, and people can then push forward. Because the moment anybody tries to push forward on me, what I would normally do is I step to the side of their line, or if they're laying paint coming in, and I start shooting back. And because they're running, they're less accurate. First-rate events with uncapped ramping. That's where I can see things going. I really can. If the paint price if the paint price does drop with first strike, I think we will experience people just mag dumping first strikes. I mean, there's people that are suggesting the idea of like drum mags for first strike. You get drum mags for first strike, and that's going to be a lot of very accurate paint coming a lot further down range. It will totally change the face of paintball. However, if that does happen, I'll still be very, very tempted to run around with something like a Phantom or a hopper, just like me cock a pump or something, and try and shoot people with a round ball. I mean, when I'm playing with the Phantom, I'm already outclassed by all like the electros and even mechanicals on the field. So being outclassed is never something that's particularly been a fear to us. I like going out because when I get a kill, it means all that more to us. I can play with a tournament gun and just rain paint, not a problem. I'm too eager to do that. But put a pump in my hands and I'm just so much happier. It reminds us of my favourite hobby. Right, anyway, so I'm looking at some of these comments. God love spending £3 shooting at you, cheeky buggers dancing, thinking you're out of range, whistles past your head and hiding back behind your cover. Yeah, that's exactly it, Echo. Albert, doing it for the Tony game I was telling you about last week. I believe the hype in 8 weeks' time I'll be running 5k. Yeah? I still can't run at the end of the street, mate. I keep aiming to get out on my bike, and like just try and go riding further and stuff, and then I work my normal hours, and then I work overtime, so it's dark when I go to work, it's dark when I come in. I work at a weekend, so I can't go out on a weekend, but I I keep thinking about going to work on my bike just for to try and get a bit more like cardio fitness going. And it's just dark. It's dark when I get up. It's early. It's raining, and I just really don't want to go out on my bike at like 7 o'clock in the morning for to be there for 7:30. But January, at the minute, my goal is to put my notice in at Christmas and be done with my weekend job by by the end of January. So February, I should hopefully be a free man. I'll have weekends back again. Hopefully, I'll just have to take a massive pay cut. Right, right. So what else was said? Yeah, first rated events okay with uncapped ramping. Now, when you said that, Ben, do you mean uncapped ramping on first strike, or do you mean having uncapped ramping alongside first strike? Because I don't think there's a need for uncapped ramping. I'm going really conservative with paintball sort of things lately. I don't think you need any more than 10 BPS. If you need more than 10 balls a second to shoot somebody, you're doing something wrong. Although I'm saying that if you can actually cap your marker, if you can't cap it, that's one thing. But because if you're just pulling the trigger, like on a say like a normal Tony gun, then if it's capped, it'll only fire at whatever you're shooting at, obviously. But if you're shooting say like an old Angel that's capped at the lowest it'll go is 15 balls a second. The best thing I could suggest in that situation would be some like stick a revy on top of it, so you're limiting its feed capacity. My wrist action's not that fast. I was yours may not be, but I think I'm trying to think who it was. It was one of the lads when I was at the RAF Curtin and Lindsay game last year. Was I just can't remember who it was that was there, but he gave us like a pot of paint because I was out, and he's like, go on, rain some paint on them, and I'm pumping away, and he's like, come on man, I've seen you pump faster than that. Like, I'm trying, I'm tired. When you've been going all day, you start to wear down. If you need a first rig round, it's limited, but nobody turns the velocity down. Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's supposed to shoot. Well, the idea was in a lot of games. I mean, obviously, I don't know every single game, but in most games, the idea was that everybody shot 300 out of the barrel, whether you're shooting first strike or whether you're shooting round ball. But if you're chronographing your gun, if you're going to be shooting both round ball and first strike, then the first strike was the one that was you chronograph the first strike and the round ball would shoot at a lower velocity. The trailer maze was pretty ace. Echo, was that one of the OMG events? Because when I played there, I think it was last year, and it was like really early. It was a lot earlier on in the year. It was for one of the urban events. It might have actually been 2 years ago now. I'm not sure. Without looking through my videos to find out roughly when the date was, I'm not too sure. I know OMG have taken it over and Black Sheep have as well, which I'll get to that one in a minute. But they only had a few trailers in the sort of the parade ground when I was down. It was enough so you could like get underneath them and hide and move in between them and stuff. And they had a couple of vehicles driving around the site that were trying to shoot at people as well. So that was quite handy. You could hide behind them and be reasonably well protected. Reasonably. If you're standing just behind the trailer, they can still get your legs underneath. Right. So. yeah, Alistair. Yeah. I really don't want to get in. I'm trying to be nice to everyone, and say I do find that funny, but I'm trying to be nice. I've without a doubt that there is people that think I'm a complete dick and have got stories that they tell people about me as well. But I'll try and keep my stories about other people offline. But in all fairness, I've seen I follow a page on Facebook at the minute called what is it? It's something like it's celeb something. Uh, celeb spotlight. Yeah, I follow a page on Facebook called celeb spotlight, and it I know sometimes paintball YouTubers and anyone that's recording games or trying to make a name for themselves. I know at times any of them are going to make balls ups and stuff, and I will admit some of the memes that they're sharing are funny, but it's like there is so much hatred in paintball. It's like, and I understand there is times when people should be called out. Without a damn doubt, there is times that people should be called out. It's like if you see somebody with a hit on, playing on, knowingly cheating or something, or wiping and things like that, yeah, call them out. But I think like there is so much hatred, and I won't lie, some of it is outright funny. And I've got no doubt that if I continue to make stuff and if my channel grows, I'll get memes made about me. And I hope I can have a laugh at them. But I want to. I'm gonna say the cursed phrase. I want to grow the sport. I want it to be positive. It seems like paintball over the past, at least the past few years, is losing players, and I want to get people back. It's why I'm all for supporting things like what is it? I think it's Black Sheep and OMG Paul Strut. I don't know if any other sites are doing it. If they are, send us a message and I'll promote them again. I'll promote them at all. But OMG, Paul Strut, Black Sheep, whatever you want to call them. I know it's run by Paul, both the companies, but they're doing like a bring a mate along, and I think it's I don't want to be quoted verbatim on this, but I'm pretty sure it's something like if you bring a mate along, they get their entry fee for free. It's like they get to go on and play for free. Now I'm assuming that obviously you have to pay for paint. But I think that is a great thing. It's like, we've all got somebody at work that's like, oh, I wouldn't mind playing, but I don't know what I'd do. And say, well, give them some gear, give them your gun, and take a rental gun and go out and play. You'll probably have just as much fun. But if you can get them to an event, there is a chance that they will come back. And especially if you take them to a proper paintball event instead of taking them to like a rental day. Because nearly everyone that you talk to has been to a rental day and really didn't enjoy it. Or they maybe enjoyed it, but they're all like, oh, it cost far too much. There's no way I can afford to do that. Which, I mean, I totally understand that. It's not a cheap sport that we play. Right. What else have we got? Right. Echo. Curtin and Lindsay was pretty nice. Right. Yeah. Yeah, OMG's Falcon back and Falcon only had 50 people go, but it was still good. Had about 30 trailers on the parade ground. You see, for the size of that site, I can imagine it was probably quite a bit of a shame that there was only 50 people turned up. Because when I played that, I'm not sure of the numbers, but I think we probably had more than 50. But there was still periods where you were wandering around for a little while looking for people. Now I don't know how Paul ran that. I know that he's quite good at organising things, and obviously with smaller numbers, he probably had like game specific areas where he'll have been doing like capture or save the pilot and things like that. But see, I like games like that. In there, I'm stumbling over my words. I like games like the Valkyrie game that's coming up, or like Falcon back, or whatever else. Or in places like Curtin and Lindsay and Senny Bridge, or there's I can't remember what the other one is that OMG have used as well. It doesn't matter. I like games like that where you can get in there and you can do some proper urban sort of combat. But I also like it when they're full of players. So there's always somebody to shoot at. There's always somebody that's hanging around that you can try and get an angle on. And when there's players everywhere, it makes it more of a rush because you don't know where or when you're gonna get shot. Cheers, Garage. It's pretty, isn't it? It kind of looks a bit like Tony the Tiger's gun, but I'm pretty happy with it. It's not perfect yet. I need to get like a new rammer on it. It's got like I can actually show you that. It's just got some cheap stock rammer on, and it's got a. I'm reasonably happy with the tickler that's on there, but what do you mean on my hair? Is it because it has a gingwa? But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that as it is. I'm kind of tempted to, if I had the money, I'm really kind of tempted to buy myself a Stella barrel kit and buy about 4 fronts for it, maybe 4 or 5 fronts for it, so that so that I can like just get the barrels, the fronts anodes to match the different markers that I've got. I mean, for the Phantoms, it's not an issue, but stuff like my E-Tech or I've got a couple of Ions, which I need to work on at some point. I'm thinking I might just do a video where I strip down one of my Ions and replace them. I replace parts on because I've got things I want to swap around and stuff like that, and I need to find out how to reprogram a black board. I need to get my hands on a manual or find some instructions. But because I had an Ion years ago and I loved it, and I sold it because I wanted to get a proper Tony gun, and I've regretted it ever since. My Ion was amazing. It was a super Ion. But yes, I do indeed love tickler rammers. Also, like, I want an Ion pump. Yes, I've never used one. Hey guys, this is my Ion. Yeah, yeah. The old the old Super Ion videos from was it SoCal that did that, or was it a Pion? I could just eat a pie. The diet I'm on is killing us. I just want to eat stuff all the time. It's like people at work are taunting us with like pictures of the food that they have, like that they've been having. Tech PB, yes, yeah. Was it not like Stick Drum in like working with Tech PB or something? Because that would they. I'll get on this in a second, but yeah. Right, going back a little bit. The liking the look of the Valkyrie game. Yeah. Well, this is it. When there's a few of us been discussing about the idea of like what games we're going to play next year, and Valkyrie is definitely one that is keep coming up. The idea of we're playing that. It's a possible at the minute, but it's one that I would really love to go and play again. Either that or Bridge. Either way. OMG Events and Black Sheep, they're doing the games that were lost when, well, I think lost's the wrong word, but they're starting to put games on that I think we need for the community. It's going to really help draw people in because they're events that people don't get to play all the time. Will only be good if they're enough to play Valkyrie. Will only be good if they're enough to play Valkyrie. Well, this is it. I'm hoping that there will be, that there'll be people will get behind it and support this. And if they get a load of people in, with it being an open event, I think they may do better than the last game, which Echo was talking about earlier on. Because apparently for one of the games, they only had 50 people turn up. And like I said, I think that's a real shame because the Curtin Lindsay site is absolutely, it's a great site. It's a huge site, needs a lot of bodies to fill it. That's what I was saying earlier on. I do think that it's a great site, but it is quite big. and there's so many angles there that I don't think a small group of players is enough to cover it. But at the same time, I also think that would probably make things quite interesting, because it's a little bit like the whole sort of Black Hawk Down scenario, not that many soldiers fending off God knows how many people. I quite like the idea of that, but obviously you need a lot of people to then play the lot of people. Right, Wanky Pump Hand, of course. I mean, what have I got? Yeah, yes. That's got a sock stuck to it. There we go. Ah, Sterling. Right. I would have probably just like chopped shitloads of paint if I actually did that. Right. What else we got? You love to tickle ramas, of course. Of course I do. I want an ion pump. I've never tried an ion pump, but I would love a go. Right. I remember Tech PB doing an ion build when being shot. Is that like mid game, or is that just being shot? Because ions weren't exactly the most complicated thing to work on. I mean, my old ion was basically stock. Apart from I had some different grips on it. I had a different ASA on it, a lock and feed neck, and what else was it? Oh, I had like a reg cover on. And other than that, it was stock. It was all basically just cosmetic stuff that I did to it. But I loved that gun so much, and when people shot it, they always used to say that it was like it shot really well. So what else we got? It's a huge site and needs a lot of bodies to fill it. Yeah, I agree with that. OMG's last big event in Greece was a great event to finish the year with a holiday in game pudding one. Well, the idea of that, I think that is the only way I'll ever get to go and play some of these games in the States. Because like the idea of me just going to the States to play a game of paintball, my missus would throttle me. if I went to America and didn't take her, I would just, you'd never see us again. I think there's the only chance I stand is saving up and going over for like a week or something, and then playing the game over the last couple of days. Pussy, yes, I am. It's her house. It's her house. I just pay the bills and live here. um, is Valkyrie a 2-day event or one? According to Echo, it's a 2-day weekend. And yes, Albert, it is your old Sterling. It's the one that I got off Mr. Wong. You know, that man is amazing. Right. In the middle of a game, stripping and rebuilding an ion in the middle of a game. There's some parts there that I mean, if it was the original ion like mine was, in fact both of mine are now, that's gonna take Allen keys and wiggling bits out and stuff. That seems like a lot of work. I mean, it's still probably going to be easier than some of the current mag-fed stuff, so there is that. Pussy, yes, we've already established that I am in fact a pussy. Slapstick, yes, Albert, that is it. I would love, and I'm not sure if it was you, but there was somebody a while ago talking about the idea of if they'd won the lottery, and it's like, right, we're all going over, we're paying for, they're going to pay for this like geek big holiday. Everybody gets like bussed over or something, and we're all going. We'll play like, that's it. We'll fly over, go to the Living Legends, and rock the site hard. And say, I reckon that like if the UK paintballers turned up to something like Living Legends, it would be awesome. It was bigger when Tim did it. Everything was bigger when Tim did it. He was just sitting at a desk while there was going on in the background of the video. See, I could do that as well. I've just got to put a little bit more production quality into this sort of stuff. See, like, I'll just I got my green screen. And when I finally get round to downloading the stuff that I need to, I can have this behind us. And like I was thinking, maybe like the whole Dexter's Lab thing. I could put myself in a laboratory. Yeah. Or when I'm just sitting talking, I can just play like my videos in the background. Put my lass's tablecloth back. A green tablecloth. No, I don't think it should be before you get a kicking. Well, I'm probably gonna get one anyway. I've already made a mess of the spare room. Like I've got my kit bag down here, and she just hates it when I leave my kit bag lying around. She doesn't understand. It's where all my fun things live. I don't want to put it somewhere else. Yeah, Albert. Yeah, it was you. Right, but yeah, it's your desk room. Yes, it is my desk room. That's my argument. It's the room where I make all my paintball stuff. where I make my videos and things. I was on about the Euro lottery win. Hire a plane and going over and show the Yanks how it's done. Yes. Yeah. I mean, Albert, mate, for people taking shots, you've got the crown, mate. I don't think I have ever seen anybody be able to walk into gunfire like you can. It's amazing. It is a sight to behold. I mean that what was it, Scotland versus England a few years ago, where you were getting absolutely pezzled, and you're just casually walking into the gunfire to hit the slapstick. Like, mate, I don't mind being shot, but that was mental. Albert loves getting splattered with balls. Well, then I think most of we in the UK community have seen that photo of him wearing that suit. There was a few people splattered balls on him that day as well. Right. Oh man, yeah, that was that. I don't think that is something I will ever get over. Just walking up onto that slapstick. I'm still not even sure how the points were calculated for that. I think people just wanted, like, I think Taz and Tracy, because it was Taz and Tracy that ran that, wasn't it? I think they just wanted to watch people get pezzled. So, there was something else I wanted to talk about a little bit in this, and it's something that's kind of been bothering us for a little while. I kind of mentioned stuff about it earlier on. I think I did anyway. I might have imagined it. I've got a habit of doing that. People disappearing from paintball. Herpes, yes, that comes and goes. Yeah, but it's something that I've noticed for a while, and there is for a long time, it's been well known that the burnout rate for paintball tends to be around about 3 years. Most people come in, they're all piss and vinegar, they want to get involved, they want to play, they want to know everything, they want to do everything, they want to play everything. And after around about 3 years, they're burned out, they've had enough, and they just drop out. Now, a lot of people do, like kit sales and things like that, where some people will come along and they'll decide, or what can we do to make you stay and stuff, and sometimes their mates bring them back round, and sometimes people come back. I've had mates that have left the game and then come back themselves. But it's sometimes it's like the bigger names in paintball that are the ones that interest me. I mean, off the top of my head, you. Yes, indeed. Yep, like the whole of the BZ team gone from 30 plus to 3. Yeah, I mean, where have they gone? I know some people are struggling with money. It's obviously nobody's particularly doing well at the minute, apart from something like Bill Gates. The man who makes enough money to be able to just sign off copyright every day and just pays the money that he owes in copyright violations every day. The money he must have. But yes, stuff like that. But it's like the guys from BZ. I mean, there was obviously we know why the ringleader left, but what happened to the people from Shoreline? There was, I think there was the Renegade Rebels. A lot of them disappeared. A lot of the warriors have disappeared. The Scottish warriors, the lads from the clan have disappeared. And like I said, I know that there's paintball burnout, which I suppose probably happens in many sports. But the Unknown Soldiers, they were doing really well. I mean, they had like a documentary series. I know it was an online documentary series, but they were doing really well. They had the first season where they did fantastic. It was like people loved watching their stuff. Then there was the second series, which again people were like loving it, and then they just disappeared. I think they did like I don't think they even finished their second series. They did a couple of episodes. I'm sure I might be wrong, and then they were just gone. No updates, no nothing. I think the last I ever saw of the Unknown Soldiers was, I think he was called Dennis. It was one of the lads, one of the three original guys. He he did a video where he had his phone propped up in the car as he was driving somewhere. I can't even remember what happened, but he was obviously having a conversation, and then that was the last thing. I think that was uploaded to his personal YouTube channel. But then there was Girl Paintballer, who just she was gaining popularity quite well. Um, she just disappeared. Her YouTube channel went and just gone. Um, I mean, obviously we've lost some people along the way, like Borg. Um, Borg's videos are still online, and you can still go and watch them, and I still think they're good quality for the time for when they were filmed, and obviously for the areas that Borg was playing in. There were, there were good videos, and he didn't have the most high end editing equipment, and he didn't have the best cameras and stuff, but he was a cracking guy. Lemon's still going. Uh, I'm trying to think. There's been other people as well. Now that I've started talking about it, I can't think of them. But it's funny how somebody can appear like Stick Drum. I don't know if Stick Drum's still going. Um, I miss Borg. Did mint stuff. Yeah, he did. Borg was a legend, and I, I, I guess the bloke had just fallen on bad times or something, and it's again. I mean, Borg invited me to go and stay at his house. I mean, he didn't know who I was, and it may have been said more in jest than anything. But had I tried to take it up, that offer may have been rescinded. But he seemed like a genuinely nice bloke. Um, I think one of the last big things he did was he went to. It was, I think it was him and Tiger went to a Living Legends game and had like a one-on-one. I think Mike from Tech PB had like a game with Borg and stuff where they let him use an ego and stuff. Nope, Stick Drum got out of paintball. There we go. That's another one gone. I mean, Mike from Tech PB. Obviously, there was controversy with him, and I think that was why he left. He obviously had problems at home, and there was controversy with him. And he tried to make a comeback a little while ago and made good on some deals he'd done and stuff. But I think he gave it a little bit too long before he tried to come back. And obviously, the guy did have problems, and it was the whole marker bids thing, where apparently people had bought stuff. He didn't actually have it at the time when he was supposed to give them it, and it was like 2 years down the line he finally shipped the stuff. Now I understand the argument of yes, he did finally give the stuff out, but it was also 2 years down the line. So I mean, some of those people probably weren't even playing anymore. But that's it. Mike's still around, but he just doesn't really do much. You never really you just see the odd post here and there, and that's it. Um, Huckleberry PB, another one. I mean, I know Huckleberry wasn't exactly he wasn't a big name. I think when you actually look at his channel, he only had something like 300 subs, but he was gaining subs fast. He was gaining popularity fast. And if you go and look at his videos, which I think I'll actually link over. Huckleberry PB. Oh man, I'm searching my own videos. Right. Kitty. I'm not sure if Kitty's still around or not. I think Kitty might be, but I don't think she's particularly doing much paintball stuff. Half a nest. Kinda, yeah. Yeah, there's some of Nest have dropped out. One lad, wait, two lads have gone over to Airsoft. Um, One lad retired, but he's been talking a little bit lately, and he might be coming back. Yeah. Um, Another lad's taking a break at the minute. I think he's got some stuff going on. It basically, I don't want to name names because I don't want to give anyone hope. But right. So what was I looking for? She hasn't taken her keys. I will be back momentarily. Ah, she did have her keys. Right. Quick look for channels. Right, there we go. Huckleberry PB. 368 subscribers. I'll share a link. Cut into the chat. Right. Hopefully that should work for you. Yes, yes, I know. I remember watching Huckleberry a year back. I got my first camera because I wanted to make stuff like him. Yeah, I mean that's it. I've been making stuff for years, and Huckleberry just came out of the blue and started making great content. Well, obviously I don't make great content, but he was making great stuff, and he was using some like old gear, like using old pumps, and he did some great videos with a Splatmaster. Some absolutely fantastic videos, but then he's just dropped off the scene, which obviously if he's got stuff going on at home, that's fair enough. Nobody can fault that, but it's when people just like drop off the scene and then you hear nothing from them. Now obviously, I mean, people in his area probably know what's going on more because they'll be speaking to him and stuff like that, but it's just a shame when people drop out. Another one that I was thinking of was Paintball Pete. If you look at Paintball Pete's YouTube channel now, again, dead channel. There's nothing seems to be happening on it. And again, Paintball Pete was a great YouTube channel. It was mostly pistol stuff, but there was also a little bit of it was mostly like sort of limited paint sort of things, along the lines of Akimbo Assassin or Midnight Angels, whatever he's going by. He's by at the minute, but yeah, Ben. I know that was how he got fame quite well. Yeah, I think that I'm not going to read that one out, but I think that was also why his channel got just fell out of favour. Sniper 0x1 was good for some sniping stuff, but he hadn't done a PB video in about a year. Just been Fortnite recently. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Cockapunk as well. His YouTube channel was something like Gurgle Muff. And hello. Do you want to say hello to the live stream? Come on. Do you want to say hello to the live stream? Come on. No, he's not going to. He's way off. He's way off to see his mammy. But yeah, I'm sure Cockapunk's YouTube channel was something like Gurgle Muff, and did he not do something with another guy called Bryce, or was that his name? Because I know him and another guy used to work on stuff together, like because they were in the sort of the science behind things, and obviously Cockapunk, he was into autocockers and things, so he was quite good source of information. It was around about the same sort of time as TechBB was putting out good quality content. Again, I don't know, maybe I've just been missing that stuff, but they just seem to have dropped off the scene and aren't doing stuff anymore. Gordon is racing cars now. Well, I mean, I suppose it's going from like one engine up to something a lot bigger. I bet racing cars is a hell of a lot more expensive than paintball. Have I got anything else to look at? Nope, nothing on there. But yeah, it's I just find it amazing the way that people can just disappear and nobody knows where they've gone, nobody knows what's happened to them. The biggest one for me, as basically started this with, was unknown soldiers, because it was like for a long time Bryce, I don't know. I really wanted to end up on a field with the unknown soldiers. I was a big fan. I wanted to get one of their jerseys, and I wanted to get one of, because they actually had custom JTs made up, which I don't know if they're hydro dipped or something. But either way, I thought that they looked amazing, and I wanted a set. And I never got around to getting any of the stuff, but I don't know why they disappeared. I would love to know, and if anybody ever does find out what happened to them, I would love to know the story behind that, because it would be kind of like closure. Right, what else? Have I got anything else? Has anybody got anything else that they would like to talk about? If not, I might go over to just looking at some posts and seeing what I can share. But the idea is, with these live streams, I kind of want to. I'm hoping that if we're building a little bit of an audience, that we might start hitting the YouTube algorithm a little bit. Now, I'm not saying I'm like some amazing person for talking to the camera, or that I'm a great personality or anything like that, but I'm hoping that with a little bit more studio production on this, like if I can get me green screen up and stuff, and be able to share videos and things like that live on the screen, that what my hopes are is that we might be able to hit the algorithm a little bit. If money were no object, what marker would I have? I'll get that one in a second, because I've got quite a good one. But then again, I don't even know if I can get it anymore. CS2. Nah, I'm not really a big fan of going out and spending loads of money on Tawny guns. But I kind of like. Well, I mean, come on, Ben, you know me. I like different things. But yeah. So what I was saying, what I kind of want to do is I want to get a bit more production value into this, be able to share stuff, and if we can hit the algorithms, take paintball to a few more people. Maybe get it to a few more people that wouldn't normally see it, or God knows, we might even be able to convince some airsofters with a bit of conversation. But get paintball out there to a few more people. Get people to see that we're not just a bunch of nutters that only ever, we're not just stag doos, and we're not just like wannabe soldiers for the either end of the sort of spectrum. And hopefully, if we can do that, smoother than your titties. My hair makes them rough. But I've not got no doubt that it's nice and smooth. The Eclipse gear is just smooth. But if we can get paintball out there to a few more people, then hopefully we can get some more people. We can get some new blood into the sport, and we can kind of revitalise it a bit and get some good games going again. Get more people to shoot at. But, right. So going over to what gun would I have if money was no object? There is one gun that, well, kind of two, but there is one gun in particular that I have wanted to get my hands on for years, and I think the only way I'm going to get anything close to it now is if I actually build my own, which I ain't too good at building stuff, so that might not go well. But I really want a Juki DSG. I have wanted a Juki DSG for years. Yeah, Desert Duck would be nice. But I've wanted a Juki DSG for years. I think it's probably knocking on about 9 years since I saw the first one. Since I saw my first one. Well, not my personally, but saw one online. That long since I saw one, and I fell in love with it instantly. The fact that it looks legit. It looks like a real shotgun almost, but you can put real shot. I think it's Remington 500 or 700 or something like that. I'm not too great on actual rifle names and weapon names, but you can put real shotgun furniture on it. So you can, if you want to, you can go down the route of having like the carved wooden stock and have like a, so it looks like a wall hanger, or you can put just a pirate handle on it and have yourself a proper like pump action little pirate gun, or you can go down the route of having proper tactical furniture on it. Like I think it was Tiny from Magfed PB UK originally, but I think it was probably 3 or 4 years ago now. Ordered one, got it over here, and put proper olive green tactical furniture on it, and it was beautiful. DRV revolver on eBay at the minute for 1,000. Yeah, I can believe it. It's I would love to get my hands on a DRV as well, like a first strike firing revolver. Just who wouldn't want to get their hands on one? But the fact that with the DRV as well, that you can actually fit a little spring-fed feed tube on it, so that when you've got the chamber on, or when you've got the normal chamber in, it does reminds me of Robocop gun. Yes, the only problem is with them being pump action, it kind of takes away from a little bit of the sort of the Robocop feel. But yeah, a duck slide Phantom would be another beauty. That would be another one that I would love to get my hands on. But it's not right up there. It's not the right top of my list. But with the DRV, it's actually got that little sort of stick feed thing on it. It's a spring-fed stick feed, so that when you fire it, the chamber will rotate, and then it'll rotate until well, I suppose it'd be maybe, I think they're 5 shots, so they'll rotate like 3 times, and then the spring feed will start pushing balls into the chamber, so you could effectively fire off 5 first strikes, and then your 6th ball, it'll be a round ball, so you can just keep going. And the idea of having 2 of those is brilliant. And the fact that with those, they actually, with them being 68 caliber, they actually have like full size chambers on them as well, which is, it's brilliant. I would love to, for a long time. I really wanted to get my hands on like on a Duty DSV for a sidearm, and a DSG for that full on storming buildings sort of thing, kicking doors in and pew pew pew. Really wanted to do that for such a long time. Yeah, it's the underbarrel spring feed. That's what I was trying to talk about. Shark tooth barrel as well. Yeah. Well, the the DSG. In fact, I'm sure it would be the DSG and the DRV. I'm pretty sure both were cocker threaded, so you could put on there pretty much whatever barrel you wanted. I mean, cocker threads being the most common barrel thread system. Is it a system? Cocker threads being the most common barrel thread out there. It's available for nearly everyone. And there's so much choice to choose from, and so many different barrel kits that you could stick on there, and you could go for like a full-on Dirty Harry gun if you wanted like the DRV. DRV. Go for the full-on Dirty Harry with the massive long barrel, or you can even just go for like a little stubby, tiny 3-inch there sort of Loudner barrel, and just have something that is super mobile. Also, like a niche pump that was made for the LA Hitman, work of art. Yes, the niche pumps, they are brilliant, but I've never seen one of them in person yet. I don't even know if you can get them over here. I don't know if they're purely stateside at the minute. But a niche pump, there's so much milling gone into them that they look really tidy. I think it's the niche pump that's got dual pump arms, isn't it? They are just like a fantastic piece of kit. But I'm kind of curious as to how I don't know how compatible are they with other autococker parts. Because I don't know if they've been custom made to be, where you can only get your parts from them, or if they're compatible with just 2K plus autococker parts. Because if they are 2K plus compatible, that would be fantastic for getting aftermarket parts in there, stick like an Eclipse valve in and things like that, or Bell Seals valve, and just have like that nice smooth buttery airflow. Hello, goodbye. Oh, I'm being locked in. But that's the customization is one of the reasons why I think the autococker has survived to now. I mean, from I don't know when the earliest autocockers would have been made, but you're talking at least the mid-90s. I would guess the latest, the mid-90s. I know there was people using their autocockers in like the late 90s, definitely. So for them to have survived as long, they've got to be doing something right. Thank you for the like there, Albert. I take it that you're just listening to me in the background. But yeah, for autocockers to have survived as long as they have, I mean, they've between autocockers and automags, autocockers have stood the test of time. They've lasted. I think automags were just, bear in mind what goes into this. I think automags were a little bit too complicated for most people, and I think with the trying to go over to higher rates of fire, I think they were too bulky. Like they could have done stuff, but I think there was stuff to do with smart parts there as well, which I don't know all the details, so I can't really make much comment on it. But it's a shame that both of them aren't still going. I mean, I know if you take apart, I think it's the Tipman VSC or something. It was the Tipman crossover. They're basically an EMAG slimmed down and put into a better fitting shell, made more ergonomic and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, that's another marker that I think was a fantastic piece of kit. I mean, the Automag itself, amazing piece of equipment, but I just don't understand why that lasted where autocockers lasted where the Automags didn't. I don't know. But either way, that's what we've got. So now you started something. Another thing I want is an Automag pump. Yes, well, my Automag, which is somewhere, I don't know. I haven't seen it for a while. I know I've got one, but it's somewhere. My Automag is actually, it's got the grooves in the rail for a pump kit to actually fit for it to go in there, but I don't know if it was a convert, because I'm pretty sure it's even been milled. I'm sure the bottom of the body has been milled for a pump to actually go in there, but then the bolt isn't right and stuff, and it's actually got milling on the side for where a magic box would have been at some point as well. But I don't know where. The way I got it, it didn't have any of that gear with it. So yeah, I don't know if my Automag was a convert or if it was something else. But from what I heard, and I mean I might have it wrong because it's been a long time since I even talked about Automag pumps. The pump stroke on an Automag is apparently a bit weird. It's not just click click and then pull the trigger. There's something about I don't even know. It's been a long time since I talked about it. It might have actually been back on some of like the old paintball forums, like Talk Paintball. But the last time I even heard about Automag pumps. But again, yeah, that's another one that I wouldn't mind having at least a bit tinker with one. But I've never been able to get my Automag working properly. I think that's just because I haven't put enough air through it. I'm thinking if I try running it off CO2 directly, that might work. But I need to get my hands on some proper macro lines so that I can get it fitting around and stuff. And although I'm not sure if I did that with my Automag. Because that's the problem with some of these old guns, like the old Automags, of having to have a big loop of macro line on them so that they don't get in the way of the frame and stuff. But hopefully, one day I'll win the lottery and I can buy all these things. Right. So I think we'll make this the last topic of the night, because Ben did ask us about it earlier on, and I did say I would talk about it, but obviously I didn't, and I got distracted. Um, the Eclipse mag fed. I'm not going to spend much time talking about it because I did talk about this in the first live stream I did. But the Eclipse mag fed, I think it's. I'm not going to say revolutionise paintball. I'm definitely not going to revolutionise mag fed. I think it may convert some people. That's without a doubt. But I think it will help magfed a lot. I mean, if they're planning on using the damn mags, I think that's a good choice because they've already got them. Yeah, I remember something about the pump stroke, and I was also told they can wear out and you can't fix them. You see, on one hand, I can entirely believe that, but on the other hand, Tom K liked to make things that would last. I mean, I don't know if it's still there or not, but there used to be a car suspended somewhere by an automag. It was like they had a, I think it was like they had, it was like a hook through part of the body of an automag, and out the other side of it, like an automag, and that was like the link in this chain that was holding up some nice car. And I would imagine it's probably dropped by now and broken, but there was I remember reading something about the car. They were going to leave it there until it gave way. But anyway, right, I think I've talked about enough shite tonight. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you to, I'm not sure who's still here, but thank you to whoever is still here. And I guess I'll see you next week. Tune in again for another wonderful episode of me talking shit to my camera. And thanks very much for watching, and I shall see you next time.